Hello everyone, this is Norman Garrett with Planview, and I'm here today to talk to you about objectives and key results inside of Planview LeanKit. If you're like countless businesses out there that wants to adopt or expand a goal-setting framework to make data-driven decisions that help guide investments, prioritization, and delivery, Planview now has this capability of objectives and key results built natively within LeanKit. Today, I'd like to give you a quick glimpse into what that solution has to offer, but before I do so, let's do a little background on OKRs and explore what they're all about. Every organization wants to deliver value to their customers. When key objectives are not easily understood, visible, or accessible, it can lead to delivery chaos that results in time to market delays, things like rework, missed opportunities, and even revenue loss. In this quote by John Doerr, who popularized OKRs at Google, he highlights what it often boils down to. Delivery teams are not aligned to a common goal or purpose. So what's needed is a new way of sharing goals, communicating expectations, and measuring success. A departure from traditional output-oriented KPIs with a new focus on value-based outcomes. And to accomplish this, a new breed of goal alignment solutions must be introduced to plan, track progress, and measure success alongside the execution of the work, ensuring all parts of the enterprise are able to align to goals without stepping outside of their value delivery platform. So that's where Planview's objectives and key results functionality come into play. So with that brief introduction, let's dive into a demo and take a look at what we've got here. Okay, so now we're on a program Kanban board inside of LeanKit. We have the Avengers release train. Release train is just going to be a constitution of teams. In this case, we have Team Charlie, Team Alpha, and Team Beta, all delivering on features for this program board. Now, LeanKit's going to give you great visibility into where work is within the process, what's the status of that work, how a feature's been broken down into user stories, and all that good stuff. What it's not going to tell you is, are these the right features? Are we working on the right stuff? And that's where this OKR functionality comes into play. So if I look here into this icon on our toolbar, I can click into it and be brought directly into our objectives and key results for this particular release train board at the program level. So if we zoom in here and take a look, we have objectives, which are going to be your company's strategy codified into clear and understandable goals, and then the associated key results. So these key results are going to help sharpen the focus on the objectives and help orient the delivery activities directly to them. So, for example, we have here at the program level, generate best practices videos and documentation to help support onboarding. This is an objective this release train is set up. And we've set up two key results to drive that objective. Improve success.planview.com visitation by 30% and drive some Vimeo channel views. These are going to be the actual tangible results that we can measure to see that we are meeting our objective. If I open up this objective, I can go a little bit further. So I can see that we've tied this to the current program increment or maybe the current quarter. We have those key results that I showed earlier. And I can now go ahead and add another one. Let's add improve Pendo interaction by 30%. I'll set my start value and my target value. We'll inherit the same dates as the parent. And we'll see how quick and easy it is to introduce a new key result to track against an existing objective. So it allows your teams and your release trains and your entire value streams, for that matter, to have this discussion and to really track and manage how these key results are being executed across the organization. Now let's drill into one of these key results that's actually already in flight. I can see that, all right, this guy's been set up for the same start and finish date, but we're 48% complete. If I look at my progress entries over here, I can see that we've actually been updating this key result over time. And we're now going to have a time chart that's going to show us exactly how the organization has been, or this release train rather, has been tracking against this key result over time. So it looks like we had a really slow start, right? We didn't really hit our targets until about mid-March, but inside of mid-March and now in April, we've really escalated our key results for improving our success center visitation by 30%. So we actually are on track to meet that goal. So you get clear visibility into how these things are progressing. And not only that, we can tie these directly back to the Kanban board. So if I go to my activities tab, I can see that we have two feature cards that are already in our not started and in progress lanes for this particular key result. So we have cards on the Kanban board that are tied to the key result in this view, and this key result is tied directly to the objective. So a full sort of synchronicity, if you will, between all of the goals, the key results, and the work that's being used to drive those goals forward. Now, what happens if I introduce team level objectives? So I can open up this drop down and bring in our team level objectives that one of these teams is set up. So delight customers with Face ID, improve application security. Those objectives are brought into this view. Not only that, we can see their key results, how they're progressing, and more importantly, do we have team level objectives that align to program level objectives? That visibility is going to be shown right here. So we have a tie between improved user experience around authentication and delight customers with Face ID. And we can see that visibility right here with this dotted line. Now, if we take this conversation even further, let's go up the organization to the value stream level. Well, here we have two global value stream objectives: increase customer signups and increase customer transactions. Their key results are going to be visible right here. And again, we're going to be showing the visibility from objective at the portfolio or at the value stream level down to an objective at the release train level right here. Generate best practices videos to support the onboarding. Right, so you're going to see that full tie-in. Now, what does this allow you to do? So let's sort of go into one of these conversations here. We can look at, I'm going to turn off my connections and look at increasing transaction from existing customers is really low. We're at 4%. That's sort of below where we need to be. I can open up this key result. Again, view that time chart. Not great. We need to make a pivot as an organization. And this is where these key results really come into play. I can go to my activities panel and let's go look at product information UX. That's a not started epic that we have. We'll open this guy up. We're going to bring this open on a portfolio board, and I can see immediately it's low priority and it's in a not started lane. So what I want to do to pivot as an organization is maybe we'll set this to high priority. Maybe I want to go one step further and say, let's go ahead. We have some capacity in the Justice League art. I want to go ahead and drag that epic into that art and get this done now so we can bring that 4% on that key result back up to a level that makes sense for the organization. So we actually start to achieve that outcome or that objective that we've set up at the portfolio level. So here's a tangible example of how organizations can pivot quickly and easily based on your key results. And keep in mind, because we're still tracking these key results, we can show really a simultaneous bottom-up and top-down visibility of value stream objectives or portfolio objectives down into program-level objectives that are being built. And then the teams are building their own objectives that are tying into the program-level objectives. So it's simultaneous laddering, if you will, of all these objectives and key results from top to bottom of the organization. So how do I get access to this? So this is available right now in all your LeanKit accounts through that icon in the header that I clicked on earlier back in the demo. If you don't have LeanKit or are interested in getting it, you can go to this URL, go.leankit.com/get-LeanKit, or you can send an email to lean-agile@planview.com to contact us. Thanks for your time today, and hope you enjoy OKRs inside of Planview LeanKit.